Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tac Bits, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. Today, I want to be talking a little bit about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, prices. Man, we got a lot of movement, a lot of activation going, but I've noticed it only affects certain coins, not all of them. Now, a long time ago, I used to say that you want to stick with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all other coins are shitcoin. And 100%, I'm going to back that up. You do not need the crap coin. Man, every time I get on this camera, it looks like I'm wearing lipstick. Anyways, I'm very bullish about the Bitcoin, but I want to take a look at these price charts. I find it really interesting. This is the max, right, man? Back in '08, I was all about the Bitcoin. Or was it '08? Huh. I actually mined some Bitcoin way back in the day in a pool just to try it. Man, it was originally 50 cents is what I made. I'd hate to think about what that 50 cents is worth now, but geez, right now, I believe this, yes, Canadian dollars, Canadian rupees, $169. Wow, it's just going to the moon in Lambos, right? Now, I want to compare that to Ethereum. Ethereum's been going to the moon with Lambos just recently, like within the last, ever since, oh, since May, it's been going to the moon. Now, remember, I said Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. But if you look at Litecoin, it's not really doing as much. It's not really doing as well as the other two. And then I was like, geez, it's interesting. You can go to Google and just get these price charts. That's kind of fascinating. I wonder what other units you can use. And I did a search, and XRP, wow, that thing shot up. What the ferg happened here in October? Blam! It went from 80 cents to 351. That is insane. Man, if you could stake that, I would definitely be thinking about getting that, but I don't like to invest my money in anything I can't stake. Dogecoin. Oh, I love Dogecoin. It's so much fun. It's basically a fork of Ethereum. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that there's different cryptocurrencies that work in different ways. A lot of the cryptocurrencies that you see now are, a lot of the popular ones are just divergences of Ethereum, which is lovely. You also got your Bitcoin Cash, your Bitcoin Gold, and ultimately what those are is a copy and paste of Bitcoin, and then they upgrade it, they change it in one way or another. Now I'm going to say upgrade because there are a lot of coins that are so much better than Bitcoin because you can do more things with them. Let's face it, Ethereum structurally is better than Bitcoin because you can make smart contracts. Now, I gotta be careful with that because one smart contract totally destroyed the original Ethereum. The Ethereum we use these days is Ethereum 2.0. There was a smart contract that went through that just went right to hell. And basically, even though it was like double, triple checked, there was a situation on it where you could say, I want to input $10, but first I want to take out 5, but first I want to take out 5, but first I want to take out 5. And that's the reason why we have Ethereum Classic versus the Ethereum 2.0 that we have. But anyways, Bitcoin, Satoshi's original Bitcoin is the gold standard, but man, you're not going to buy a cup of coffee with that, not unless you use the Lightning Network. And if you use the Lightning Network, it can really work. Lightning Network goes like that, and you can make invoices that'll make things go real quick, and the cost is nothing. In fact, I use it to take funds from my MinerGate, not MinerGate, that's what I used to use, from my NiceHash to transfer over to Coinbase. I make about maybe 350 Satoshis on average just from my solar mining and whatnot out back. And it's really not much. It's really not much. So I think 400 Satoshis is what, 50 cents, something like that. But hey, the fact is that I made it, which is lovely. And it's just like some of my neighbors who spend like 50 bucks on one tomato plant or on a bunch of tomato plants when they could just spend the 50 bucks and get piles and piles of tomatoes. It's just something about making it yourself that makes it really special. Holy snap, Bitcoin Cash has its own integrated chart. So I'm starting to think that most of the most popular coins on Google or on the internet, on the interwebs, Google's going to have a chart for them directly within the search. Man, I hate to be an investor that got in on that early. Oh my goodness, I remember I actually had some Bitcoin Cash because when they forked, if you were on certain exchanges, it was basically like this is Bitcoin, right? And then they copied and pasted it onto Bitcoin Cash, and they both kept going. I No, Minergate. I had that on Minergate. I had to use Trade Ogre to transfer that over, and frickin' Trade Ogre. I think I've lost probably about 50 bucks on Trade Ogre. I can't really say much about that. It is a bit of a pain in the butt because I spent all my Varus coin on that. Let's take a look at Varus coin. These days I'm kind of kicking myself for even mining the Varus coin, but hey, it's fun. You can mine it with cell phones. It's a privacy coin. You can mine it with CPUs. Let's see about the all-time. What? That's not right. That's better. That's better. It's like crashing out. It's crashing out. I got like 0.03. Every now and then I'll mine a little bit of it because I just have a phone in the corner and I'm running it off solar power or something like that. $3.17. And every now and then, I'll admit it, I just like having a little bit of crypto of one sort or other. I just wish I could move this to one of my other wallets. Not exchange. Never leave your money on exchanges. Man, I'm learning that the hard way. I had like 50 bucks worth of Bitcoin on Trade Ogre before it decided to take a little crashy poo. And that is no fun. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking Bitcoin's going to go to the moon. I'm very bullish about it. Ooh, you know what we should check out? CRO price chart. Oh, Google's not listing that. Oh no. So I'm not very bullish on CRO. I had been in the past. I used to think CRO was going to be, whoa, wow. Oh, geez, it's really come up. I used to be really bullish on CRO because Crypto.com has this way of, geez, maybe I should buy some. Anyways, Crypto.com is awesome with the way you get a little bit and you can use your card to trade. The trading fees are really, sorry, let me back up. You get a card with crypto.com. With crypto.com, you can use that card in order to convert your coin into money. It's like a 5 to 7% what is it called, over the table, over the top. The spread is 5 to 7%. But I guess if you transfer your money to the exchange and exchange it there yourself, then you won't have that problem. Yes, but you got to be pretty hardcore in order to understand and go with that, in my opinion. Now, the people who do that all the time are going to say that's not a thing. That's not a difficult thing. What are you talking about, Nevin? But yeah, because of the inflation, June, July, August. Wow, that has really come up. Holy snot nose. That's pretty cool. It went from 82 cents up to, or sorry, 8 cents. 8 cents. Actually, I bought a bunch back here when it was, what, 30 cents? Huh. Huh. Yeah, she's going back up. I have some concerns about the inflation of it, basically. I have some concerns about the inflation of it because they give it away for free. They give away very small amounts for free. And as you trade, you also get more. But they might have a burn rate. Okay, so yeah, there is a burn method. So when I talk about that, basically, it makes it so that there isn't so much of it out there, and the inflationary isn't such a thing. The original 2021 burn in 2021, Crypto.com conducted what's called the largest token burn, destroying 70 billion CRO tokens. Wow. Whoa. Okay, according to recent. Geez, I wonder how many tokens there are available now. Oh, geez, so there is a maximum. So you can only get so many bitcoins. After a certain amount of time, there will be no more bitcoins mined, and the miners who are mining are only going to be mining transactions, basically, out of the maximum supply of. Okay, there's 30% of CRO out there. That's interesting. Inconsistent old figures, less trustworthy. I don't know. I just don't trust them quite so much. I say this knowing that I have a bit of money invested with them. So you definitely get an inflationary thing. But with Bitcoin, you get a bit of a deflationary thing because there's a lot of people that just lose their wallets. That is not a bad inflation rate. Bitcoin's inflation's 0.83%. Ethereum limited to a maximum of 1.5%. Holy snot, according to CRO's annual inflation is around 21%. Whoa, okay, that's some pretty high inflation. Yeah, so Bitcoin is under 1%, Ethereum's 1.5%. So Coinbase will give you 1.9%, and I think they get 3% off of their proof of stake. So how it works is, okay, so how Bitcoin and Ethereum used to be is used to go proof of work, whereas you have these systems that were mining and ka-chunk ka-chunk, basically throwing numbers at a computer, and the person to guess the right number got the Bitcoin or the Ethereum. The people who run Ethereum decided that they needed to change it. And since Ethereum can be upgraded, there are people there doing this, upgrading Ethereum. They decided it's going to go to proof of stake so that if you have, geez, I think it's if you have, it's either 3 or 30. I think it's 30 actually. If you have 30 Ethereum, then you could get the next coin. You could get or a fraction of the next coin. And with Bitcoin, you still have to throw numbers at that wall. Now, what's really crazy about that is the more systems you have online, the harder the code is or the longer the number is. So if we had 2 computers on, we'd be wasting a lot less energy, but we'd still be giving the same Bitcoin. If we have 1 million computers on, they're kind of just wasting energy at that point competing, which sucks. Absolutely. But that's the name of the game, and some of us would rather take that than trust the banking systems. So yeah, just having a quick look at Ethereum Classic, it looks like it has not been enjoying this recent spike, though it had a spike of its own. Probably not the best for purchasing, but maybe fun to speculate. Every now and then I might buy a coin just because I want to say I have one of a certain coin, and perhaps one could do that with Ethereum. Anyways, folks, that's it from me, Neff from Nev's Tech Bits. Thanks for joining me. Have a good one. Take care of each other, will you?